Titan, 4,000 meters deep, there are only 10 vehicles in the whole world that can go 4,000 meters or deeper, and all of them are certified except the Titan.
That's the amount of time that we've had to improve our understanding of materials science and safety protocols and so on. There is no excuse for what happened here, and I find it appalling and tragic.
Scientists just revealed the terrifying truth about the OceanGate submarine. 4,000 meters deep there are only 10 vehicles in the whole world that can go 4,000 meters or deeper, and all of them are certified except the Titan. There's no excuse for what happened here, and I find it tragic. On Sunday, June 18th, 2023, 5 courageous men hopped into the Titan submarine for an historic expedition to explore the iconic Titanic wreck. They bid farewell to their families with a promise to return after a few hours, but fate had other ideas. Exactly 1 hour, 45 minutes into the journey, disaster struck. Titan suddenly lost communication with its mothership, and after several hours of scouring the underbelly of the Atlantic Ocean, it was confirmed that the submarine and the 5 daring explorers on board were gone forever. But what exactly happened to them? And was this tragedy avoidable? Join us as we reveal the terrifying truth about the OceanGate submarine. Co-founded by Stockton Rush in 2009, OceanGate is a reputable research and ocean tourism startup. Rush had always had a daring personality, and as the man at the helm of affairs for OceanGate, he embraced new technologies without fear. Riding on this wave of innovation, OceanGate has become one of the fastest-growing companies in the deep-sea industry. In the early stages, skepticism surrounded OceanGate's ability to accomplish significant feats beneath the ocean's surface. However, driven by his relentless pursuit of goals, Rush remained undeterred. His life had been marked by remarkable achievements from a young age, and this new adventure would not be any different. At the age of 19, he became the world's youngest jet transport-rated pilot. Later, in 1984, Rush graduated from Princeton University, having earned a bachelor's degree in aerospace engineering. But rather than put his skill and knowledge to work in the aerospace industry, Rush opted to explore the depths of the sea. Backed by his visionary leadership, OceanGate embarked on a mission to push the boundaries of deep-sea exploration. And this led to the invention of the Cyclops II submarine, which was eventually modified and renamed the Titan. Weighing 23,000 pounds, Titan is a small submarine about the size of a minivan. According to OceanGate, this 6-7-meter-long sub can travel at a top speed of 3 knots. It has the capacity to carry 5 people to a depth of 4,000 meters. Additionally, this advanced submersible vehicle had all the necessary amenities that you would expect a deep-sea vessel to have. Shiny LED lights, an ultra-advanced sonar navigation system, and high-end cameras. And for every mission, the Titan is ferried to its launch point and supported by a mothership called the Polar Prince. But the daredevil nature of Stockton Rush also meant that the submarine had an unconventional design and some pressing safety issues that were overlooked during the development process. Initially, this wasn't really a big issue, because Titan seemed to be performing according to expectations. According to official reports, the vessel had completed 2 successful expeditions to the Titanic wreck, and several other less risky deep-sea exploration missions. But on the 16th of June, 2023, Titan prepared to set sail for what would be its 3rd expedition to the Titanic wreck. There were prior concerns about the harsh weather conditions, but as excitement continued to build up, one of the passengers scheduled to take the trip, Hamish Harding, put up a post on Facebook confirming that the expedition would happen as planned. They were a few. Due to the worst winter in Newfoundland in 40 years, this mission is likely to be the first and only manned mission to the Titanic in 2023, the British billionaire wrote. A weather window has just opened up, and we are going to attempt a dive tomorrow. The fluctuating weather conditions were probably a sign of the looming danger ahead, but as a renowned daredevil himself, Harding isn't one to turn down a rare opportunity to explore the extreme. In 2022, the British billionaire was one of the few people aboard Blue Origin's New Shepard rocket that traveled 66.5 miles above the Earth for a 10-minute trip in suborbital space. Harding's audacious spirit had earned him 3 prestigious Guinness World Records for different unprecedented feats, such as completing the fastest flight around the globe, traversing both the North and South Poles, and spending the longest duration navigating the Mariana Trench. the deepest oceanic trench on our planet. Joining Harding on this remarkable $250,000 trip were other daring and prominent individuals, including Pakistani businessman Shahzada Dawood and his 19-year-old son, Suleiman Dawood. French deep-sea explorer and Titanic expert Paul-Henri Nargeolet was also on board. And of course, OceanGate CEO Stockton Rush was the pilot on the day. After a 4-hour delay, all 5 passengers made their way into Titan's submersible. The support team sealed the hatch from the outside. At exactly 8 a.m. Eastern Time, the Titan began to descend. Everything seemed to be going on well until around 9:45 a.m., when communication was lost between the submersible and its mothership. At this point, there were some concerns, but the support team, trusting Titan's capacity to survive the voyage, chose not to raise an alarm. But when the sub failed to resurface by 3 p.m., a genuine sense of worry and anxiety filled the air. So, at exactly 5:40 p.m., they officially informed the U.S. Coast Guard that the Titan submersible had gone missing. What followed next was a frantic international search and rescue mission to find the Titan sub and its crew.
Right now, we know that every agency available is considering this a search and rescue mission.
Yeah, we're all panicking for them, but no sign of the sub has been found at this point.
Right now, we know that every agency available is considering this search and rescue mission. Yeah, we're all panicking for them, but no sign of the submarine has been found at this point. A coordinated search effort was swiftly initiated, engaging the assistance of numerous ships and planes hailing from Canada, France, England, and the United States. These dedicated teams tirelessly combed through an extensive area, spanning over 1,500 kilometers. Equipped with state-of-the-art buoy technology and employing at least 2 ROVs capable of navigating the ocean depths, they embarked on a mission to locate any trace of the lost submersible. To expand the search capacity, private and commercial vessels were also asked to join the search.
Oxygen is dwindling on the Titan submersible, and rescuers are racing against time, literally around the clock, to try to find that vessel before it is too late.
Oxygen is dwindling on the Titan submersible, and rescuers are racing against time, literally around the clock, to try and find that vessel before it is too late. At the time Titan left its mothership, the crew had enough oxygen to last for around 70 to 96 hours. But after several hours of unsuccessful search efforts, their chances of survival were dwindling into thin air. As the days went by, hopes of finding the crew alive continued to decline. Yet, members of the search and rescue teams continued to intensify their efforts in anticipation of a miracle, but it wasn't to be. On Thursday, June 22, 2023, the U.S. Coast Guard dropped the bombshell news.
The Coast Guard confirming wreckage found near the Titanic indicates the 5 people on board the Titan sub perished when the tourist vessel suffered a catastrophic implosion.
The Coast Guard confirms that wreckage found near the Titanic indicates the 5 people aboard the Titanic perished when the tourist vessel suffered a catastrophic implosion. This brought a tragic end to the exhaustive search and rescue efforts made by the U.S. Coast Guard and other agencies. Authorities say the wreckage found was consistent with the loss of the sub's pressure chamber, and further investigation revealed that a Canadian surveillance plane had detected banging sounds every 30 minutes in the area where the Titan sub disappeared. These pieces of evidence were enough to declare the entire crew dead. According to experts, the external pressure exerted on the Titan sub most likely caused it to collapse inward at a speed of 1,500 miles per hour. Interestingly, the whole process is believed to have lasted for just 1 millisecond or 1,000th of a second. And naturally, humans require around 25 seconds to instinctually respond to stimuli. This means the Titan crew would have been crushed to ashes before they even realized what was going on. In the wake of this heartbreaking news, tributes poured in from all corners, honoring the 5 passengers on board as true adventurers. Meanwhile, the U.S. Coast Guard announced plans to launch a high-level investigation into the catastrophic implosion. But, while all of this was going on, some members of the exploration community began to weigh in on the situation, with most of them claiming that this was a tragedy that could have been avoided. Clearly, Stockton Rush's reputation as a daredevil means he often takes risks that others wouldn't even think of. However, the sheer number of risks he took with the Titan sub were a bit too much. To start with, the Titan sub is not certified, meaning it has not been approved by the regulators of the deep-sea industry. In a letter to OceanGate in 2018, the Marine Technology Society emphasized that it had unanimous concern about the safety of the sub. In addition, the letter accused OceanGate of misleading the public, violating an industry-wide professional code of conduct, and neglecting the DNVGL rules. The committee recommended that, at minimum, OceanGate submit a prototype of the Titan for review. It's not exactly clear whether it responded to this letter or not, but in a 2019 post, the company outlined its efforts to mitigate risks while obtaining DNVGL certification may not be necessary, because some of the current regulations are designed to stifle innovation. Speaking of innovation, the Titan featured an unconventional design that made it different from other submersibles. During development, OceanGate opted to build the Titan's hull with carbon fiber. This was an extraordinary level of innovation that no one else has had the courage to try. But being the daredevil that he is, Stockton Rush hurriedly embraced the concept. In fact, the company contracted to build Titan's first carbon fiber hull was given a 6-week deadline to complete the work. Generally, incorporating carbon fiber into the design of the Titan sub was seen as a good innovation because of the incredible combination of high strength and low weight that the material offers. But with the level of pressure and compression it would be subjected to at the depth of the ocean, experts predicted that the sub would suffer gradual delamination with every dive it took. And if not detected early, the accumulated fatigue could lead to a disastrous event like the one that occurred on the 18th of June. Stockton Rush knew about these complaints, but they chose to proceed with the expedition. Every time Rush was asked about the safety of the sub, he simply brushed it off. "You know, at some point, safety is just pure waste," Rush told CBS reporter David Pogue. "I mean, if you just wanted to be safe, don't get out of bed, don't get into your car, don't do anything." Perhaps the most shocking of all was how off-the-shelf and unsophisticated components were used in building critical parts of the sub, including the ballasts, which were made from rusty lead pipes. But in 2018, David Lockridge, an employee of OceanGate, expressed his concerns about the quality control and safety of the Titan submersible. Some of Lockridge's complaints include a lack of unmanned testing, an inefficient alarm system, and a relatively weak porthole that's only certified to withstand pressures of 1,300 meters. The Scottish submarine pilot said the company responded to his complaints with hostility and denial. Eventually, Lockridge was fired. During a conversation with an ex-associate, Lockridge reiterated his concerns about Rush and the safety of the Titan sub. "I don't want to be seen as a tattletale," Lockridge says in the Mail, "but I'm worried he kills himself and others in the quest to boost his ego." Fast forward to 2022, the Titan sub experienced significant issues during a similar expedition. First, the crew encountered communication issues for about 2 hours, and when that was fixed, they realized the sub's batteries had drained to 40%, forcing the pilot to return to the ocean's surface. Looking at it from hindsight, you could say that writing has always been on the wall, but Stockton Rush chose to turn a blind eye to it, and now, he and 4 other unfortunate adventurers have paid the ultimate price for it.